Someone may take a step forward toward you and your connection in order to find another perspective on a complicated situation in their life. Or they're making a step forward towards the divine to see if they can find a higher perspective than the one that they have now. Although this is recorded for a particular day, please keep in mind that these readings are timeless, so whenever you come across it, you're meant to find it, and there may be a message within for you. Hello everyone, it's Amanda with Orchid Divinations, and I'm here with your message of the day. So today, I think the daily blip that I had posted earlier is really relevant to what I'm seeing here, and it seems to be a consistent message from the divine as far as not overcomplicating a matter and searching for a more simpler solution. One of Bright Baby's meanings is simplicity. Another resonating aspect is also the message that if something feels overcomplicated, sometimes the best solution is to also just give a problem up to the divine and release a stranglehold on the necessity to find our own solution or to force our actions. So definitely go check out that posted daily blip if you feel so inclined. Also, I had some interesting downloads that hit me very strongly today on my daily walk with my dog, which kind of holds a similar message as well. As I was walking, I saw on the side of a van for a plumbing company, I saw in unusually huge and bold lettering the words, "Need help today? Relax, it's done," with a big exclamation point. So this suggests to me that if there is a problem that is unsolvable or overly complex, relax and let it go, and the divine will take care of the solution, or that the solution will then naturally come to you as you relax. The outcome that you were hoping for, I believe, is what will come about. Because the way that the "it is done" part came across to me, it was almost as though it was saying, "Your wish is my command. It is done." But relaxing and releasing resistance will help that come along easier and move along faster. And it was just a soothing message that all is going to turn out fine without any cause to stress or to worry. I also saw another phrase on a realty sign that I was passing that stood out very intensely to me as well, which said, "under contract." To me, this felt like whatever connection this read is addressing today is going along just as your soul contract was meant to in this lifetime, and that any other karmic contracts either of you face, especially if it's a more complex or distressing issue, is also part of some other soul contract as well. Both contracts are playing out just as they are meant to, and all you have to do is relax and allow the simplest of solutions to come through. Lastly, I heard the funniest thing as well, that I took some time to kind of mull over after looking at the cards, and I think I get and understand its message. So I walked past a yard that had a plethora of different kinds of flowers, and one of them looked just like the flowers from the Disney cartoon movie Alice in Wonderland. As soon as I saw it, in my head, the song "You Can Learn a Lot of Things from the Flowers" started to play, and I won't subject you to my singing. If you don't know what song this is, you can look it up again. It's "You Can Learn a Lot of Things from the Flowers." And of course, my mind then responded, as Alice would have, the phrase "curiouser and curiouser," because I had no clue what that was about at the time. Looking at the cards today, and after my daily blip that suggested one looking at a more complex problem through more of a childlike wonder and perspective, it made me think of Alice's childlike wonder that navigated her through Wonderland, and that it was the outside influences that tried to confuse and befuddle her. Just like how I have been seeing in my reads prior as well, that outside influences have been the cause of confusion and they don't allow for a more enjoyable experience of just being present and navigating situations, learning and growing through that curiosity and trial and error. One of the lyrics in the song was especially in the month of June. That part was particularly clear, so something about the month of June could hold resonance and importance in regard to the connection that I see here. And although I see this love card, I'm not going to limit this connection to romance simply because there is an energy here as well that tells me that this situation can apply to any heart-based connection, such as a dear friend or family member, especially with the home card here. Though for most of you, this is a romantic connection, the same one it seems that we've been seeing throughout my prior readings. I also saw the numbers very clearly on my walk of 11, 44, and 33. So if those hold any meaning for you, take those as they resonate. But lastly, back to the Alice song, I thought of the scene itself, where after they sang, they started to pick on Alice, saying that she didn't fit in, that her petals, which was her dress, didn't have any fragrance and looked odd. I think they may have even implied somehow that she was ugly and that her stems were strange because of course they were her legs and not stems at all. But they kind of drove her out, but not until they did a good amount of picking on her. And that takes me back to the daily blip of yesterday, where we saw that someone was facing a lot of criticism, even if that was just self-inflicted, but a lot of criticism about their life or accomplishments. And it kind of reminded me as well of our read the other day, where we saw those who undercut someone and kept them second guessing by nitpicking and bashing on their accomplishments. And I feel like this group has finally driven you, or the masculine that came through, that they finally drove them out or you out. And the criticism just became too much. And the joy and curiosity and wonder was just drained from those interactions. So I believe that's why those downloads were applicable. And it feels like someone is realizing now that they want to get back to a simpler and more childlike, in the way of being more pure and unencumbered, but a simpler and more childlike solution to a very complex problem. As I said though, this can be in regards to any heart-centered connection, and this person who's wanting to take a step forward in a more simplified way to repair and to fight for that connection may also be you. But I think that I will just read this in a way of someone who is taking a step forward toward you to fight and to repair a connection. But since it can be those other scenarios that I said, take the read as it resonates and flip any roles as needed. So here we see that someone has been really tangled up in a complex situation or problem that is also being reflected here by this Eight of Swords. They feel entrapped, confused, and with the topsy-turvets in the reverse, they've looked at this problem 9 ways to Sunday, and they just can't seem to figure it all out. They aren't stepping back and simplifying in the way that today's daily blip was insisting. They are too close to the situation and too bogged down into the details. So what is happening here, since this is in the reverse, someone has now decided, your counterpart, has now decided to step forward to get a secondary take from someone else, trying to get an answer that they can't seem to find. There are 2 indicators as to where they are going in order to get this secondary look and opinion. It's definitely not anyone from the toxic groups that we've been seeing, but one of the places is actually coming straight toward you with this connection card here. Seeing if you can provide a simpler solution to things weighing them down, as well as them seeing that just walking towards you is potentially the simplest answer when it comes to how to fight for your love again. If you are in a connection already and you aren't separated or in no contact with this person, this could just be them looking for simple solutions and answers from you directly regarding any fights going on between the two of you that may have been caused by pressure from outside influences, aka the toxic people surrounding the connection that we've been seeing. Another place, if not stepping directly toward you, is connecting to their higher self and looking for solutions that come through reflection, meditation, anything that connects them directly to the divine. As this card came out sideways, this can be seen as them taking that step towards the higher powers, that connection, for their solutions. But as I said, I see both. So it is very possible, especially since we have two cards of communication here and a Three of Cups, which is sometimes a coming together of people. It's very possible that your counterpart could be reaching out to get your take and your perspective. And this would be because they see you as someone more connected and more in touch with a simplified overall outlook. Just you hold a bright spiritual demeanor, and some have even come to know you as generally being very optimistic and trusting that things just kind of work out. They have observed you, and some have observed that in you directing your life in this way, a lot of things have fallen into place for you. So either way, truly, this is a form of them returning back to self and the divine, either directly or through you, because again, they sense you having that clear, simple, direct link, whereas they tend to overcomplicate and to overthink. I sense there are many things that they are seeking advice on that have them very perplexed, but one major one is how to fight with Nebula Warrior and how to repair Bright Baby this love connection. They want to know if too much damage was done, and though they worry to almost an excruciating level that there has been, Bright Baby here implies that some part of them just instinctively and intuitively knows that damage repair is possible. Because one of her bigger meanings, aside from simplicity, is that no matter how damaged something is, it can be restored and repaired back to its original pristine state. With the love card here being sideways, they do, however, worry if you still love them. And if you do, then that is how they know that they have a good fighting chance. Another major thing they are seeking a simpler outside perspective and solution on is again how to handle the group of people surrounding them that they feel entrapped and stuck with this Eight of Swords. Because when they go to reflect, they only see the trappings. Now, I wonder, because we saw someone in the last message of the day having a major plan and strategy. I'm wondering if this last little bit of perspective being sought is actually what becomes that trump and the overall win. Once they follow the contract that seems to be one of learning how to simply release and trust in themselves, in returning back to the simplicity of love and just the simplicity of the divine, without the conflicting influences in which karmic patterns may have carried over from other lifetimes. I say that again because of that under contract sign that I saw. Something that tells me that this could be them getting that trumping divine perspective, though, is not only rah, rah, rah over here to the side, but also the way in which this page is throwing up his wand. It's like that releasing upward, that's just like this person stepping upward, is that trusting release and sending that message to the divine in the form of prayer, reflection, or meditation, which is kind of implied by these cards over here. With the Three of Pentacles, again, we see an overseer with this guy up here. So that again could be representative of the divine perspective. But with this card, this could also be that strategy or plan that the masculine has been working on. And with the Eight of Swords, there may be some sort of snag that they haven't quite found a solution to yet. But again, that solution that comes through to them, especially since we don't see a roadblock or a crossroads or any hesitation from them, that solution could be that very last bit, that triumph and the win that carries the plan completely over to finally making their way to you and away from the toxicity. With this home card here, not only am I getting the usual message of this person coming back home to themselves, feeling more into their heart space. It's that reflection and or meditation that they may be doing in order to hear that divine guidance. And that meditation, again, is that communication, this air card, through the portal that takes them from the 3D to the 5D realms. But aside from that original message of this card, I'm also hearing that this love with you returns them back to their heart space. And with you, they feel a sense of home and true belonging. Unlike this place, that if this was a family, was quite literally their home. And just like in previous readings as well, some of them have always had this feeling of not fitting in there, feeling very different, having a deeper sense of emotion or empathy that mirrored yours, but had to be suppressed in order to adapt as they were growing up or as they were trying to fit into various social circles around them. With this Five of Pentacles here to the side, it's that feeling of being out in the cold, feeling homesick, having placed themselves outside of this newfound home with you. This sensation has been growing, and again, it's the motivating factor and that final push forward that is making them want to fight and make their return to fix things. This space is becoming more and more uncomfortable, and they just want to fight their way through those entanglements. Just like Alice had to fight and pull herself away from the entanglement of the judgmental flowers that tried to pull at her from various directions and kept criticizing her as they did so. This uncomfortable, displaced feeling they realized was because they were blocked from their own intuition that they are now opening up and connecting to with this pile, as well as realizing now that by keeping you in the dark and keeping their plans and thoughts secret, that was also blocking the return of coming back home. You, again, being that home. However, with this section, I'm seeing that although they are at this time disconnected in the physical from you, they are still connecting to you via telepathy and by going within and feeling you there. So if you've been feeling a surge or influx of their energy, that is also them coming to seek your more simple guidance and help. So that being said, if you feel inclined, you can meditate on sending them loving, supportive energy or offering up those simple answers that they are seeking through this 5D portal that they are utilizing between you. I would, however, avoid at this time going towards them in the 3D unless they reach out to you and walk towards you first. I only say that because this is part of their contract of disentangling, and they have to be the one initiating the ways out. This is their time now to fight and repair the damage. I'm hearing at this point your piece is done, and your next part, when they come forward, is just to step into that simplified repair state with them. You can't make this first step for them. And it looks like they are on a very good path, opening themselves up to their more spiritual side and reflecting, regardless of whether or not they call those moments of reflection meditation. It seems they are more open and connected than they have ever been. So that's great progressive steps and makes me happy to see. This is probably, as I said, those final bits and pieces of that major win being strategized and implemented, especially if it's the divine that puts that final answer or solution into their hands. I kind of get that a bit here with the circus deck side pile. Just like my daily blip read today, that by allowing the divine to play its hand, they will send to this masculine via that unconscious divine link, this Go Fish card, the answers on exactly what to do and how to go after what they want, which is the meaning of the Red Countess here. This card is also about releasing the outer noise and distractions and listening to and being guided by their own inner wisdom, which again is being sent via that direct link to the divine. This card is also about trusting that it is not only safe to listen to that inner voice, but that it is also safe to act on it. So by seeking this higher perspective, yours or the divine's, this is what frees the masculine counterpart from this illusion of being trapped and entangled. They are finally trusting and stepping forward. This is quite a bit different from the hesitation and the crossroads that they were once stuck in. We did see that they were no longer at a crossroads when it came to wanting to leave these others. They have already chosen this path towards you, or if this wasn't love for whoever is here, this was a chosen path towards a higher soul calling. With this card, Sweetheart, next to the White Duchess, this just tells me that this is your counterpart's healing that's been taking place as far as trauma from toxic sources of love goes. If they had past bad relationships that left them with any kind of PTSD within connections, or even toxic love such as those from these others around them, this again is them separating themselves and healing from those past bad experiences. But as I said, I think when they place this healing in the hands of the divine via this meditation, or just release themselves more toward that heart space opening, that was the final push, this explosion that was the Joker is wild overall win when it comes to the strategies and plans that they were juggling and trying to have come together. This is what allows them to take their life back, as well as to claim the love that is not over for them. The good geisha behind that is your counterpart's desire to no longer have to play a game or put up a front. They are done going at it alone and holding in all of their secrets, their feelings, their plans. The real them inside that was suppressed and held down for so long. And again, it's that message of their plan being able to manifest through prayer, faith, and connecting to the divine and getting real in that process, going deeper within themselves. Whether that is through you and your divine connection, which is strong and open, or again, through personal reflection and connection. Either way connects them to that clarity that they are destined to come to and understand. That contracted, destined clarity that solves the problem that has weighed them down for so long and had them confused and trapped well before meeting you. Both of these two other side decks tell a story all the way through, so I'll just go through each quickly and show you what I'm seeing. The Sage card here tells me that the current knowledge that they were working with that kept them stuck and needing a fresh perspective had them feeling hopeless and depleted. Nothing seemed like a workable solution because, from their perspective, it all went against those things that they've come to know as what was right and accepted. They didn't know how to expand out of the box that they always knew. And again, if this was family, this was just how they were raised. So that outward knowledge and perspective could only come from an expansion and openness to the divine clarity, again, within or through you. In order to speak their truth and claim your love, you being this Empress energy here, male or female, and I have to keep her covered because she's naked, they needed that divine inspiration and guidance to make the highest and best decision. Notice how he is looking at the bigger ball here, and it was that final receptivity that this masculine counterpart has finally opened themselves up to that allowed not only the progress of this connection to grow, but has also allowed the masculine to expand and grow. Just like the supernova card we saw in the circus deck, this was that explosive blast, that last push that leads to not only their ascension, but the ascension to a higher level of some kind between the two of you. The false fears have now given way to a sense of optimism for a brighter future, and the free-floating anxiety of this connection and the intensity and faded quality that was implied is now in a mutual state of healing for the both of you. Both of you are now able to do that mutual healing work, even if it's not done together yet in the physical. Again, if they aren't coming to you for solutions and it's them going to the divine for solutions, it's their open receptivity and trust that is what is now leading them to catch up to you as far as doing the healing work that you have a soul contract together to do. This part just reiterates that the reason that they were so lost within the details was because of the very critical false friends and connections that they had around them that sabotaged or confused them on a lot of things in their life, which kept them second guessing and overwhelmed, just trying to get a handle on how they should do things in their life, because others made them feel as though each movement they made was wrong, which left them in that depressive, gloomy state with gloominess doom, as well as a lot of sadness we see behind gloominess here. Again, it made them afraid to take leaps or risks of any kind that weren't considered safe or practical through the eyes of these others. But optimism and that bright sense, similar to this bright baby here, with this maiden has now been found and has come in with whatever divine wisdom the masculine has now obtained. That answer, again through you or through meditation, is what causes changes both within and without your counterpart. And it creates the outward transformation in regards to these others that we saw the other day. And it transforms the masculine's want or need to project or front in order to keep things as they are when it comes to others around them. This then gives way to the opportunity to connect to you through emotions and no longer trapped in their thoughts or in their mind. And this allows for that natural and open, honest expression of themselves. I was shown, however, with these next cards that although they are now coming in more real and more connected, their intuition is telling them not to rush this process when they return to you. They see you as this beautiful divine gift and wish fulfillment here with the fairy godmother, but they don't know if you'll be able to trust them as much as you used to. Though you are this loving, divinely connected being, they know that if they were to come in being real and even saying the actual words now that I love you, that it contradicts how they may have acted while the two of you were in separation, or how they acted while you were in a period of disagreement. If this is someone who you are currently already in a connection with, they may have tried to explore other options and acted as though this connection was done and held no meaning for them. So that may cause some mistrust or dissonance within you, and they want to now come in a more gentler way that is aware and conscious of your feelings in that regard, since they know that they were potentially careless and dismissive of your emotions before. So they want to go a bit slower. And since they were so slow in moving forward with these future plans and had worn a mask this entire time, again, they know that it'll take some time to build up trust in what they are now expressing. And this card could also imply, too, that they will kind of put a damper on more sexual expressions at first, again, in order to build up more of that trust. And we do see the not wanting to just come in with passion in the Lightseer's tarot deck as well. Again, it's to build up that trust in what they are now expressing to you. And again, they know that it's that contradiction here with this paradox card, the Pook. What they want to now express and reveal about their feelings, it contradicts how they were when they were in that dark night of the soul period, and the distractions that they used in order to not properly do their healing, because at that time they weren't quite ready nor had the courage yet to face it all, and essentially just pushed you very far away. Now with the Lightseers, this pile again is that homesick, out in the cold, having blocked out their intuition, which is no longer an issue, it seems, because now this is them with that divine intuitive link now online. This has allowed them to step back and see things through the unencumbered, trusting eyes of a child. Again, just like my daily blip read. And that is what sets them free from these family connections or stability issues, if that was the case. And if this was toxic family or friends, it frees them particularly from a harsher feminine energy that could have been around them that was causing them the most anxiety. They are now strong enough to come forward and romantically pursue you and directly state that they want to repair and to revive things with you. They will tell you about the things that they learned from watching you, because if you remember in my other reading, they were observing and learning something from you that was giving them some sort of a clearer understanding, especially when it came to the imbalanced toxicity around them. They weighed your simplified purity against the toxic nature of these others. Their wish now is to get in touch completely to the depth of themselves within that was forced to sit in the shallow end with those others. They are closing up the cycles of confusion and options and closing up that long wait they may have placed between the two of you reconnecting. The Emperor is now looking towards what he knows as fate and destiny, which is his connection with you. Again, turning his focus away, and I apologize if you hear my dog snoring very loudly. Again, turning his focus away from playing games with these others, the fights and the burdens they tried to weigh this masculine down with. And now he wants that overall trumping win of this lover's opportunity. When they rejected your cup and your offer for this group, this Three of Cups, and for some sort of stability when it comes to them. Again, we see that tent, like I saw in the other read in the background, that tells me the craziness that went on with that group had the masculine wanting to walk away, saying, "Not my circus, not my monkeys." But again, for some reason, maintaining this form of stability with these others, they thought it was just the right and balanced thing to do, and now they deeply regret it. They regret holding back from you and from taking this leap, which caused you, and I'll cover her up because she's naked, confusion or a sense of insecurity, especially if they were particularly cold or overly logical and just seemingly unbothered and had turned away from you. Now we see that apology coming in, which you thought would only come in when pigs fly. I'm being drawn to this pig here. And we see them charging in with the Emperor guiding this chariot now towards you, with a somewhat small offer at first of wanting to make amends and make peace, because it's kind of that more gentle approach since they know that they lied and they have to make sure that you guys can move forward fully from that. Again, they want to take it slow because they don't feel like it would be a complete or a full win. This card is usually considered a false victory. They don't feel that it would be a full win or a full attainment of your trust if they were to come in with that sudden, passionate intensity. They feel that with your handout here, that you deserve and are desiring and expecting something more of them than just that intensity being presented to you. They want to tell you also about the old life that they walked away and set fire to now in order to walk towards clarity with you, with themselves, and toward their true definition of happiness. And again, to further show you that, we have clarity, happiness, and illumination here with the Ace of Swords and the Sun. They want to now share any lessons that they had learned when they were distracted and away from you, and any new perspectives that they gained that brought them back home within themselves in order to bring you what you fully deserve on a level that is worth you. You being this Queen of Pentacles, male or female. Again, this is my high value energy in this tarot deck. They will be addressing the pain of the separation and may try to explain that they were always slowly planning and looking toward a future with you, despite seemingly spiritually unconscious and emotionally withdrawn. That last bit here is that hope of being able to communicate now with you. And I'm also seeing that communication again that this masculine may be having with the divine, because we have her looking and seemingly praying to this light up above her. They want to bring back this Two of Cups connection as your equal and demonstrate this decision now in the 3D that they had made in their minds already in that past crossroads when they decided again to make that profound transformation in leaving these others behind. You, this Queen of Cups, male or female, manifested this new beginning and this opening of their heart space despite being distanced and separated from you. And it's this open heart now that is allowing them to put an end to the false ideas and perspective of what they assumed was a happy family and their right and wrong dogmatic structure that was tied along to it. However, if none of the romantic messages there have applied to you, and this is some other heart-based connection that is needing to be repaired, trust that this other individual is homesick to reconnect and is either going to come to you for answers or solutions to heal things in their life and with you, or is currently praying for the solutions to heal within themselves so that they may heal things with you. If this is a child of yours, even if they are an adult child, I'm hearing that they want to repair things and they want to come home. Not literally live at home with you. That may be the case for some, but if there's any kind of state of separation or distance or estrangement, they want to come back together and reunite as a family and being home in that way. I will leave off today's read with 2 side deck cards that were from the Lemora side deck, which are Our Ancient Future and Stepping Through. This card, I think, sums up not only the ascension and healing receptivity that is happening with the masculine right now, but also this entire journey that you both have been on together. Again, it's that idea of a soul contract taking place. This card is about healing through a journey and activating a new paradigm, which I believe is now activated. It's a whole new level up here. It also perfectly summarizes the whole idea of that simple step back, that fresh childlike perspective, and giving the answers up now to the divine, because another message of this card says that you can navigate a situation that you have no experience with by truly being present and by using your authentic integrity and simple intuition as your guide. With this stepping through card, again, it's this masculine stepping towards and through, finally, into this new paradigm with you. This card says that the time is now. Though one or both of you may feel outside of your comfort zones, this is taking a leap and trusting that the puzzle will come together piece by piece, having now taken that courageous act of fighting for this bright new start and beginning. So that is your reading, sending you all my best with love and light. Have a wonderful rest of your day.